going on? Welcome to another episode of Left Turns and Loud Noises, episode 34. Today is Monday, September 16th, 2019, and we are officially the number one podcast for predicting the playoffs right now. Looks like 3 out of the 4 of us are pretty much safe right now with that Truex pick. I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, Kevin Costello. What's good?
Good evening, everyone.
There's no Alex tonight. I'm sorry to say that Alex is currently out and about in Tasmania actually tonight. So he's out there. He's really out there. So we'll just go ahead.
That's pretty far out there.
I mean, that's almost 16 hours out there. That's as some would say, very out there. So speaking about out there, a lot of our picks were kind of all over the place. If you listen to last week's episode, you got to hear all 4 rounds from the Cup competitors, including a little bit of Xfinity picks. And for what it looks like, obviously, no one had Martin Truex Jr. being eliminated in the round of 16. So let's all give ourselves a round of applause. We're pretty good at what we do here. We're pretty good. So we had a pretty interesting weekend at Las Vegas. You know, we had some gambling going on. We had some Friday the 13th nonsense going on in the Truck Series. Kevin, I'll let you go into that a little later. And we have the field set. But first things first, I just want to say, I love you, Brandon Jones. I love you.
Yeah.
I just want to say that. So I'm just chilling. I think it was Saturday morning or Friday morning. I think it was Friday morning. I just get a little little notification in the group chat for the podcast, and here comes Alex sending me a video of Brandon Jones, like the Brandon Jones, giving the podcast a shout out. And it was really nice of him to go out of his way to do that. Like, that was really cool of him. You know, just made my entire week. I honestly have that as my ringtone right now for Alex text me. So shouts out Brandon Jones, friend of the podcast, officially friend of the podcast. So I think
that was a really awesome way to start the weekend, and it ended up paying off for him because he had a great run in the series race.
I think that if Brandon Jones continues to be supporting of us and we're supporting of him, it's a great relationship. That top 3, man, he had a good save also during that race. We can get into that a little bit later, but let's first talk about the Cup guys. So very interesting weekend. Martin Truex Jr. comes away with his win, overcomes adversity, and now has the most wins on the season. That's obviously, like, you know, huge going in. He locks himself in the round 12. No one really thought that he was in danger, though. So
no, I mean,
no.
We all came in saying the top 6 were pretty much set on points for round 1. But
this is just insurance money to get to Homestead right now, and I like that about Truex. He's like, I was thinking to myself, okay, true, because I have him not making the Final Four. If he doesn't really get going, I don't know if he's going to keep that momentum. Richmond's another track he could easily dominate, and I actually think I picked him winning that. Yeah, I did pick him winning that race, so looking good.
I will say that like, with him being the most winning driver this season, kind of feels a little weird. Not that he's been flying under the radar by any means. It's just we've had so much parity lately that, like, I kind of forgot who had the most wins, and like 5 wins through 27 races sounds like a lot, like a decent amount on paper, but like he hasn't won in. This was his first win on NBC.
Oh my god,
Family Network. So like he hadn't won since Sonoma back in June. So it's been a while.
I think that there was Rick Allen was saying that Gibbs has about over 50% of the wins this season.
14 out of 17. It's crazy.
That is just ridiculous when you look at that number. And they're not done yet. Although Kyle Busch might be. I don't know. So that's one of the big headlines coming out of it. I think, what would you agree is the bigger headline? That Jones is in last right now out of the playoff guys, or Kyle Busch just being Kyle Busch?
I think Kyle Busch is a bigger headline just because that was
just because he's
so
Kyle
fun
Busch
to watch. And
so let's talk the Kyle Busch meltdown. So I've already kind of made my point as to where I am on Twitter, and I'll just reiterate it. I'm Team Smithley here. I get it. Like, Garrett got in the way there and messed up Kyle, but Kyle is also pretty much safe this round. So to me, it's another Kyle Busch hissy fit where he's just going to be all bark and not do anything. And that's just, you know, after a while that becomes repetitive. That's just me, though. I know it's entertainment. Clearly entertaining. That interview was hilarious. I'm just here so I don't get fined. Like, classic Marshawn Lynch.
I agree that he was done not the way that he wanted to be done, being like when you're running up on a guy with that closing rate of speed, it sucks. But like at the same time, Garrett's doing literally all he can do in that car. So
Mm-hmm.
I've always thought that NASCAR is really lax on the whole minimum speed policy. I think they need to start enforcing that more.
Oof.
Like, make them
Don't tell Rick Ware Racing that.
no, let them start the race and all
Mm-hmm.
that stuff. But like, if you can't maintain minimum speed, then you just honestly don't deserve to be out there because you're a nuisance. And usually, we don't see anyone take damage from it just because these guys usually know where to go and know where to run.
Mm-hmm.
Every once in a while, you run into these situations and it sucks for whoever's involved. Yeah, it might be funny because it's Kyle Busch or whatnot, whatever people say, but like, imagine if that was Larson, man, I'd be pissed. But
No
like,
more Team Smithley for you.
nah, I mean, Garrett didn't do anything wrong. It's just circumstantial. Like, it could have been like reverse those roles. Give Garrett the 18, give Kyle the 52. Same thing will probably happen just because of the equipment they're in.
Exactly. No, I don't think Kyle Busch is winning any race in that 52 car. So Garrett's doing the best that he can in that situation. And honestly, it's just tough. We've seen it before. Truex has obviously been kind of the louder voice about lap cars in the field creating a nuisance. And it's always like, I don't want to see them enforce minimum speed more in Cup Series. I would, that kind of goes more towards they should probably have like more equal cars in the first place or whatever the cap limit.
Mm-hmm.
You start doing that in all the series, there's going to be only like 10 cars that finish an Xfinity race, it feels like. Like, I don't really know about doing enforcing minimum speed more. That's me. If they're getting in the way, clearly getting in the way, like a situation, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. It was like 2003 Bristol Busch race. He spun like 6 times and got in the way so many times. I mean, I've never heard Mike Joy get so mad at a driver on TV, but it happened and it was hilarious. I don't know. I mean, I Kyle Busch finishing 19th, obviously detrimental to his night, but not to the playoffs. I think it was really funny though. Like, someone brings up Richmond, can't pass there, just straight up doesn't even let him finish sentence, can't pass there. So Kyle's already written off Bristol or Richmond. Sorry,
I think he was just pissed off. You can
obviously
make passes at Richmond. It's
yeah,
track, and
he's
even with
furious.
this aero package, especially if you bump a guy. I mean,
I'm sure there's going to be a lot of that going on.
If you can't make a pass, maybe if you don't, run up on a guy and give him a little something. If you just content to ride behind him, yeah, you're not going to pass him. So
it's a short track.
Yeah,
it's not Iowa.
It all depends on how good you are there, which I think works. I think Kyle Busch he'll already forget about this by the time
there's no Carl Edwards there to bump him out of the way on the last lap. He's fine.
Yeah, to whatever I was saying, but he'll rebound.
Yeah, it's Kyle Busch. I'm not worried about him missing the round of 12 here. Like, that's definitely not, definitely, obviously not out of the realm of possibility of Kyle Busch just yeets it in the fence and finishes 34th twice. I mean, that's not looking good going into the Roval, but
he's still got a 36-point cushion, so
yeah, he's sitting pretty right now. So as for the rest of the guys in the chase, so Kurt Busch ends up finishing dead last, but because of the win, it's given him a little bit of a cushion. Still out of that top 12 going into that. You got him, Newman, Clint Boyer, and Eric Jones. Now, Eric Jones got in trouble middle of that race, and I know that for you and Nolan especially, that was very upsetting.
Yeah, because he was really running next to Truex, and then when he had his issue, you can't recover from that if you're stuck in second gear.
Yeah, okay, so that's what I did not have my volume on. I was having a wonderful dinner, and I was sitting there at a very nice family gathering with the iPad and the NASCAR race. I felt really out of place, but you give me 6 Caparinas, that's what's going to happen. So yeah, I didn't really hear what happened to Eric Jones. I just saw him fall off, and I'm like, oh, that's terrible. So he was just stuck in second gear.
That's 2 years in a row for him where he's had a pretty good run going, and then circumstances out of his control.
That's so shitty.
Not finish great, I know, but it's part of it. Like, especially, I feel less bad about it this year as I did last year, because last year he just got involved in a wreck where he could not do anything. This year, that's a team mechanical thing, and if you're not bringing your best stuff, especially to the playoffs, then you don't deserve to make it.
Yeah. So I heard a lot of people saying must win for Eric Jones. I don't believe that. I was talking before this. Do you believe this is a must win situation?
I don't think with 2 races yet it's a must win, just because so much can happen at Richmond, and if he has a good run, people like Almirola, Bowman, Blaney don't have good runs, which by the way, those 3 do not run good at Richmond typically.
No, they do not.
So if he runs good there and they don't, we could easily see this point battle tighten up going into the Roval. And the Roval, you can make up points and you can lose points in a snap. So I think if you're within 20 at the Roval, you can point your way in, but you need like really good strategy and a really good car and all that stuff to get stage
You
form.
you gotta be, exactly. Stage points are gonna be so important these next 2 races.
Outside of that, I don't think you can. I think it's a must win. I don't think anyone's must win right now, just because it's still pretty close at the bottom and a lot of stuff can happen. But if these are the same points, like let's say Richmond just gets canceled. If they go into Roval,
don't do that to me.
Roval's the cut race now with no Richmond in the middle. I think it's a must win for Boyer and Jones.
Thank God we have Richmond in the middle. And another thing to your point about stage points is Richmond, if I recall correctly, that is a track that's heavy on the tires. That one really, really bleeds them, I feel like, correct? It used to. It definitely
No, I'm pretty sure it still does.
Yeah, so that's another thing with playing strategy is, do you want to really play that strategy for that stage finish, knowing that you might drop like a rock if you without fresh tires? Like there's gonna be a lot that comes into play at Richmond, and it's why I really am happy that this track is in the chase or in the playoffs. Jeez Louise, look at me just thinking about my chase facts here. I'm really happy to have Richmond here right in between Vegas and the Roval. And obviously, we're less than 2 weeks from Mayhem, and I can't wait. Just can't wait for the Roval.
Yeah, like if the caution comes out with 10 to go in stage 1 at Richmond, and
that's going to be mayhem.
Newman, Busch, Boyer, Jones are on the lead lap. They're staying out. I don't care.
One of them's going to take
unless everyone else in front of them stays out, then they'll come in. But besides that, you're going to try to you'll risk anything for stage points, because once you get them, you can't give them up.
Yeah, it's the classic do the opposite of what the leader is doing, basically.
Yeah.
Hey, if you do whatever you got to do, this is the playoffs now. Just man, if Newman really pulls this off and gets out of the top, gets out of the round of 16, that would be remarkable.
He had another blue collar top 10.
He's just getting it done. Yeah, that was another thing. So looking through the field, obviously Newman's top 10 stands out to me. I mean, I just want to give a shout out to Austin Dillon and Jimmy Johnson, the 2 highest non-playoff cars. Just a good day for those guys. They needed, obviously Jimmy Johnson's team has been very discouraged. This is his first top 15, I feel like, since New Hampshire. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. I'm looking right now. Shouts out Paul Menard and Ty Dillon, 16th place. But I want to give a shout out. He didn't have the best days, best finishes, but I saw you out there, Matt DiBenedetto. I saw what you did at the end of stage 2, Joey Logano. I thought that was funny.
That was funny.
That was pretty funny. Basically, for anyone who didn't get to see it, Matt DiBenedetto was about to go a lap down. He was, by the way, car looking great. Just give that shout out. Truex and Logano are having a good battle for the lead, and basically DiBenedetto, kind of being a Toyota team member, kind of really helped out Truex Jr. get the win. He in stage, which obviously benefited him going forward. And then at the end of the stage, coming to the checker flag, Truex backed it down and gave DiBenedetto his lap back, which was really, really classy. You don't see that type of racing anymore, I feel like, especially between guys who are not teammates. So that was really cool. So I'm just looking right now at Jimmy's stats. Yes, this is his first top 15 since Pocono. His best finish since he finished 3rd at Daytona. He hasn't had anything even close to this.
Man,
that's tough, man. God bless him. He at least, I mean, I think I heard like 5 people say that Jimmy's going to get a sneak win in these playoffs. And I don't know if that's heartbreaking or remarkable, but either way, man, he at least didn't give up. So God bless him.
Yeah, good for him for not giving up too, because he said, I'm not
7-time champion. I'd be pissed if he gave up.
Oh yeah.
There's a reason that he was always there for so long. Real quick shout out, Martin Truex Jr. So the last 4 years, he's won the first race 3 times. So
yeah,
so he must really like these opening stages.
Yeah, and really I heard a stat yesterday during the race that was kind of funny to me. It's every race at Las Vegas since stages came into the sport in 2017. So 5 races now. The winner of stage 2 has went on to win the race.
Yeah, so maybe that's what Matt Benedetto knew coming at stage, coming to the end of stage 2. He's like, all right, Joey Logano's in the lead. Can't let this happen. He's not a Toyota guy. I know if Truex wins this, he wins this race. So I have to help this man out. I got to do it. I got to put the team on my back. Shouts out
Yeah.
Marshawn Lynch. And he did it. So,
Yeah.
that was
I mean,
pretty awesome.
I don't know. That's definitely just a freak coincidence. It's not a correlation to anything. I mean, obviously running up front in the middle of the race is going to help you run up front in the end of the race.
I don't know. That usually does it.
Imagine all the things that can go wrong to a winner of stage 2, and it's not went wrong at all at Vegas. So fun stat that I'll look forward to seeing how that plays out next year too.
Yeah. Also, those restarts at Vegas are the most ridiculous. Like, I just hold my breath. I feel
they're great.
Laps. It's so ridiculous. And we actually had our first caution from a non-race, from a racing incident at Las Vegas. Since this new package, it just took about 5 stages to do it, and William Byron having an incredible save. People were talking about Gragson having the save of the weekend. I think Byron had the save of the weekend there. That was pretty impressive.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see Gregson's save, but
Gragson, he kissed the wall, very, very slightly kissed the wall. So so some people, not naming names, are saying that's not a save at all. But I'm not a Russian judge. I'm not going to be very critical on what a save is and what a save isn't. If we're going to be technical, Jimmy Johnson, when he just didn't hit anything at Dover, he did kiss the wall at the end. So technically not a save. He got damaged. So, I mean, I don't know.
All right, so going through the rest of the results for the Cup race, we have Ford's looking strong with 3 of the top 5 with Harvick, Keselowski, and Blaney, who, by the way, Keselowski was nowhere in the first 2 stages. He was running
he had 20th. Engine issues, it looked like. They had the hood up in one.
Yeah, and he finished 3rd, and then Blaney was solid run for Blaney. That team needed that. And then Chase Elliott was honestly looking like the best car towards the end of that race. I thought
he had so much speed. Like, if he had a better restart, he's probably in contention for that battle between Harvick and Truex Jr. Which, by the way, Truex and Harvick, I was hoping that would last a little bit longer. But I mean, Truex was class of the field on that final run. Can't really take anything away from him. He ran away with it at the end.
Yeah, and Hendrick showing speed once again. We got Chase Elliott.
Bowman,
P4, Bowman, P6, Byron, P7, Jimmy Johnson almost had a top 10, got beat out by Newman at the line, but Chevy,
Newman sneaking in.
Chevy's trending up, I guess, a little, because Larson he finished 8th, which doesn't really tell the true story, because Larson was a top 3 car, and his pit crew just completely screwed up.
Classic CGR pit crew. I mean, after a while, what do they do? Let's have to do something different. Right, because it's become a common occurrence where Kyle Larson is losing races because of his pit crew, and it's just super unfortunate right now. And that car, by the way, looked very nice too. That Clover scheme looks great under the lights.
It's my favorite paint scheme.
It honestly,
I know that's definitely
me.
Biased, but it's just such a good paint scheme.
It is really good, really clean.
But
Larson can't have that happen in the later rounds.
No, but I feel like the biggest disappointment of the day, not even Jones with his issue or Kurt Busch with his accident, has to be Clint Boyer. You start on the pole, only lead 1 lap of the entire race, don't get a single stage point, and finish 25th. I mean,
it's not looking good for Clint Boyer right now. It's really not looking
like
good.
He's lucky he's good at Richmond, and he finished, I want to say, top 5 at the Roval last year, but
I feel like he did not finish top 5 at the Roval. I think, didn't he get eliminated at the Roval?
No, he made the round of 8.
Whatever. Who am I thinking? Oh, no. Salmer that messed up.
I feel
like he didn't get eliminated at the Roval, but he definitely had issues there. And I remember seeing one of the Stewart Haas cars getting in trouble. So I apologize to Clint Boyer and his entire family.
But I mean, he got outrun by Michael McDowell.
That's not.
I know he did have an issue, but even when he was before his issue with Paul Menard on a restart, he was just not close to being competitive.
It's not looking good for Stewart Haas Racing. They already got a guy out of the playoffs, and their next, pretty much their usual second horse is not looking good at all. So it's pretty much Kevin Harvick against everyone else for Stewart Haas.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I wanted to go back to the Kyle Busch thing. I saw someone post on Twitter that, well, honestly, Kyle could have just gotten high. He usually likes to kind of kiss the wall and lick it to see what it tastes like. So, especially late in the race at 1.5 miles. I don't know. He was just like, I know what this wall tastes like. Get out of my way. So
Yeah,
we're done with that, I guess. And Gluck poll looked pretty good. Looked like it was 68% like the race. So that's kind of nice, I guess. Oh, and the ratings went up a little bit.
I did
So
see
hey,
that.
hey,
Which is
against a very good Sunday night football game, by the way. That I was watching both, and it's a very very good game.
As an East Coast viewer, what did you think of the 7 p.m. start time for us?
I didn't have a problem with it. It was right when Red Zone was ending, so I'm pretty much done with football for about an hour and a half. So I'm done with football at that point, and I can just kind of sit on the couch and start watching NASCAR. And
yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I loved it.
Yeah, it was good. It was right at dinner time. Like I said, I had the iPad at the table. It was perfect. Like it was right what I wanted, because I feel like if it's during the day, I'm not even paying attention to it, because especially during the 1 p.m. games, I'm not leaving my couch for 3 hours. That's prime, like 7 games of football on. Like I love NASCAR, but Red Zone is crack cocaine, whereas NASCAR is just a little nice jazzy weed going on. Like, no, this is pure crack, and I'm watching Red Zone right now. Like, calm down. So I don't know. Nice little analogy, I know, right?
Yeah, great for the kids at home listening.
Kids, do not do drugs, all right? Just don't ever.
No, but like I've always wondered why they revealed the schedule for, like, the 2020 schedule got revealed back in April.
It feels like a eternity
almost
ago.
6 months later, we still don't have the start times, and I really do think, and this is tinfoil hat central, but I think they're waiting to hold off for the start times to see how this race went.
Mm-hmm.
Because if the ratings went up, which they did, I think, just looking at the schedule for next year, we have 3 of the first 4 races are West Coast races, being Las Vegas, Auto Club, and ISM. I think there's a good chance one of those doesn't start until like 6 or 7 p.m. now, just because
that's fun.
One, you get more viewers. There's no competition there. I mean, later start times get more viewers just in general, unless it's a Saturday, because more people go out on Saturday night doing everything and whatnot. But I think, which is a good sign, because I've wanted these West Coast races start later than they do for so long, because one, it gives like the fans a 12:30 start time isn't horrible, but like I like to, I feel like most fans like to get to the track a little bit later, tailgate a little bit, don't have to get up at 6 a.m.
You don't feel pressured by the sun. Like the sun's not yelling at you overhead like, hey, I'm hot and the race is about to start. Like, come on. Like it's not as detrimental to my day, I feel like, getting up a little bit later and enjoying myself and
so
calming. Yeah. I hope they continue to do that. So yeah, I don't think that's actually what NASCAR is doing.
Hopefully, if the ratings, it was just the overnights that came out at the time of recording this, so hopefully the final ratings stay up and NASCAR season says, all right, Auto Club ain't starting until 6 p.m. next year. That would be, you know how sick it would be to watch Auto Club at and Under the Lights?
I actually, this is going to be tough. I didn't really like Auto Club Under the Lights. I like it better during the day. I'm going to be straight up about that. I think it was just, I don't know what it was about it. I didn't like it under the lights. That's just
back
me.
When it was on Labor Day weekend?
Yeah, I didn't like it back then. I recorded the races. I would stay up. First of all, those were 500-mile races, and they didn't finish until like 1 a.m. It was ridiculous. So
that's another thing. The Labor Day date there, the sun didn't set till on the, like, for East Coast viewers, until like 11 p.m. over there. So now that the race is literally the first day of March, sun, I don't think that's daylight savings yet. So it'll be it'll set much sooner. So I think,
yeah, it'll be 4 o'clock and the sun's already down here in Florida. Wow. I mean, I don't know if they're gonna do that with California. Do they still have those lights at Auto Club? Because I haven't seen a race under the lights since I think 2014 IndyCar Championship.
They do. They just don't.
They just don't use it
now.
Yeah, real shame. Well, like I said, just turn into a music festival. You've solved all your problems.
Don't let me. I'm just looking up the Fontana sunset times real quick.
All right, so moving along, we had an Xfinity Series race. It was the final race before their playoffs began. They decided to be different, like every other series, and start their playoffs later than all of us. So we got our field of 12. Surprise, it was the exact same that's been pretty much throughout the entire season. Our boy Brandon Jones locked it in before the race started, so let's go, Brandon. And yeah, Tyler Reddick. I am surprised that car didn't just run out of fuel and evaporate. Like that was shocking.
I'm gonna be honest. I was in Gainesville watching both the UF and FSU game at the same time, so
Classic.
I
Yeah, that did us
did.
wonders, by the way. Thank you.
Yeah, I did not get the chance to see it, but I did check on Twitter and saw that it was a fuel mileage race, which is pretty cool
Mhm.
because it's fuel mileage.
Yeah, no, fuel mileage races are very few and far between, especially with these stages. But I mean, Tyler Reddick essentially gambled. Crew didn't know if he had it. Reporters didn't know if he had it. They were staying optimistic for the sake of television, but I honestly think that they didn't think they had it at some point. And Tyler Reddick just saved fuel. It looked good. Again, I was watching the FSU game also, so I did the best I could to get both. In the FSU game, if no one watched, was very close. We almost had an upset. By the way, I know this is off topic, but I'm just gonna say, fuck Virginia for rushing the field. That was fucking stupid. You guys suck.
Yeah, you don't rush the field when you're literally the favorite at home.
This is a rant. Okay. Let me go on this rant. Virginia, you don't rush the field when you are 25th ranked, beating an FSU team that only has a combined 11 wins in the last 3 years, whose coach is about to get fired in the sun. It's ridiculous. It looks bad. This is the second worst look your city has had in the last 2 years. Fuck you guys. All right, I'm done. Oh, God, I had to get that out of my system.
Nah, it was good. All right, I looked up the Fontana sunset time, and for each of us viewers, at 8:46, the sun will be setting in Fontana, California, which means if that's a 6 p.m. start time, that race is sunsetting at the end of stage 2. So I am
that is beautiful.
Super excited, and I guarantee you that will happen next year.
By the way, NASCAR Race View will be able to handle that because I was watching a Twitter live feed. I was very drunk, so I thought this was great and blew me away. Of the sun setting on NASCAR Race View, it looked beautiful. They had the weather changing and everything on it. So don't worry, they got you covered on that too. So shouts out NASCAR for that.
Shout out.
Dude, oh man. So actually, oh man, if they started during the day and it turns into a night race, that could be honestly. It would be nostalgia a bit.
I really hope this happens.
That track will have a lot more grip for sure, but I don't know.
Which is good because that was, I feel like, the problem this year, that with the package, we see the cooler temps with these big tracks help out a lot. So with it just being baking in the sun last year, or I guess earlier this year,
it
wasn't the greatest race. Probably the weakest race with this package on the tracks that are oval shaped.
I mean, I was gonna say because I feel like Pocono
1 existed, yes. Did it though, yeah. But back to Xfinity. Besides that, how was it?
Our boy Brandon Jones finished in third. He almost lost it completely coming off turn 4, and he lost like a bunch of positions. And I thought, oh well, his day is completely cooked, and he rebounded really well. So that was nice. But
any
you look at the
surprises that
no. I mean, Brandon Jones, I think, is considered a surprise when he finishes that well. I mean, if you're not one of us who believes in him the entire season,
that's fair.
So
wait, Greg Galding finished 7th.
I guess you'd call that a surprise.
Failed to mention that as a surprise.
I mean, I didn't think that was a surprise. I feel like
Greg
Galding finishing 7th is a little bit where he belongs. I don't know.
You know what the biggest surprise of all this? Riley Herbst actually got a top 10.
Yeah, Riley Herbst didn't actually reckon anyone, so shouts out Riley Herbst.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's Tyler Reddick, Christopher Bell, and then Custer finishes in 4th. That's essentially how things are going. If this is an indication to how the playoffs are going, Brandon Jones is going to the Final Four in Miami, and it ain't.
That's what I'm seeing.
Exactly. Yeah, I didn't actually see Greg Galding. I didn't have the stats pulled up just yet. I was just kind of waiting for my internet to load. Also, I want to give a shouts out to Elliott Sadler. So this is his final race according to him. And Elliott Sadler, like I said last week, he's been racing in NASCAR as long as I'm watching. So to see him get his final race and get a top 10, pretty nice looking colleague racing car. That's pretty cool. I really wish that he would continue to race out there, but I know he's got his family. He wants to enjoy himself, so I'm cool with it. I'll let it be. I think I asked you last week if he's a Hall of Famer.
I don't remember that discussion, but I'm going to say no.
Okay. Well, even for his Xfinity stats?
How many championships does he have?
Oh, well, okay. If we're gonna count that, then whatever. Didn't they just put Lake Speed into the NASCAR Hall of Fame? I feel.
I genuinely do not
No,
know.
I do. I feel like if you won a race, you're in the NASCAR Hall of Fame. They're just
Nah,
putting anyone in there.
I don't know. I mean, does he have any big wins? Not
Okay,
really.
let me just pull up Elliott
Have
Sadler's
any
statistic.
championships? Not really. Like, he's a great guy who's
Nothing.
been around for long, but like Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Eh.
Ryan Sieg got disqualified, but it still didn't matter. Sieg still made it in on points, so he did make it in on points. So I'm not sounding like an idiot, right?
Yes, you're right.
Okay. All right. So I mean, just Elliott Sadler has 3 NASCAR Cup wins. 2/3 of them coming in 2004.
If there was a Hall of Fame,
which by the way is one of the greatest runs coming into the chase I've ever seen, was Elliott Sadler and Jeremy Mayfield.
I take it back. If the Hall of Fame opens up an exhibit just to go into the wildest crashes in NASCAR history, Elliott Sadler has in his own damn room there.
Oh yes, absolutely. I cannot, it's a shame to be remembered for that, but at least you're being remembered for something. And like Elliott Sadler has had some of the weirdest crashes I've ever seen. Talladega 2003 is one of the craziest things I've ever seen live in my life.
I think that's still my favorite wreck to go back and watch, just because of how elegant that car flies through the air.
It's just oh shit, and just almost lands perfectly.
Yeah.
And then just tumbles violently after that. So Elliott Sadler has 13 career Xfinity wins, which is actually more than I thought he had, to be honest. But no championships, unfortunately. His best finish, obviously, he's finished second. Get this, he's finished second 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Oof. So always a bridesmaid. Just such a shame. But you know what? Elliott Sadler made a living off of, according to these numbers. I'm just looking at money earned from when NASCAR still showed it. He's made $46 million in Cup, and then a cool $10 million in Xfinity, which isn't easy to do with that career. So I mean, he's sitting pretty. He's sitting pretty. He's sitting pretty. So hey, maybe not a Hall of Famer, but definitely a guy that will be memorable for years to come. Maybe not for the right reasons, but hell, at least we can show those videos for generations to come for fans growing up, I guess. All right, so you want to talk some trucks since I didn't get to watch the race?
Yeah, so trucks was run under a full moon on Friday the 13th, so some weird shit was going to happen. And folks, some weird shit happened. ThorSport Engines decided that they really didn't want to run, so we had Grant Enfinger, Johnny Sauter, and Matt Crafton go out of the race due to engine troubles, which is honestly unheard of, especially with it being a spec engine. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, and that was 2 of them blowing engines simultaneously.
For the whole field. It was just the ThorSport truck, so whatever their setup it was. It reminds me of the Coke 600 from this year with all the Toyota cars, how like the right front in stage 1 just could not stop from blowing out. Something like that. And after all the trucks who were, blowing up engines every 5 laps, after that died down, Awesome Hill had probably the drive of his life, restarting from literally the last car on lead lap, driving through the entire field and winning a race, looking like the third guy in this championship, because it's pretty clear that Chastain and Moffitt are 1-2. But if you had to pick a third guy, like if Chastain and Moffitt wreck each other out, Hill at Homestead, I'm telling you, he'll be there for the pickings to win that.
Back-to-back championships for Hattori Racing too. Like
that would be really cool.
That team was on the verge of packing it up, and Austin Hill is out here just showing, hey, it wasn't just the fact that Moffitt's good. Like, this car is really good, and I'm very talented. Like,
he is. Yeah, he ran really good last year in whatever car he was in, and he
couldn't tell you for the life of me what car he was driving last year.
It was a truck, but
okay, listen, technical.
But
Proud of yourself for that one. Huh?
I am. But yeah, no, great for him. He's a nice guy. I like him.
Yeah,
Don't ask Johnny
that
Sauter would not
was
agree, but besides
no
that,
Johnny Sauter's opinion is completely irrelevant now that he's been eliminated. So him and Grant Enfinger, regular season champion Grant Enfinger, both eliminated from playoff contention. Obviously, Enfinger's not happy, and a lot of people have talked about the classic. Well, we don't really need this playoff format in the trucks, to which I have agreed with. But it's neither here nor there.
I don't even think Enfinger would have the points lead anymore because he has not done
No, he hasn't
anything
really done
this
anything to
round.
maintain it, but he at
And
least would
he
still
doesn't
be in
even have a win
contention.
this year, so it's not like
No, exactly.
yeah.
If anything, this is giving us an opportunity for Ross Chastain to win a championship, and that's what the fans want. Just dumb it down and give the fans what they want. So, looking at the stats, so John Hunter Nemechek was out there. I didn't even realize he didn't even make a single lap. It looks like.
Oh yeah, they blew an engine before the race started.
Oh, classic! Just
Something
blowing
like
an
that.
engine on the parade lap.
It like
I'm
couldn't
trying to
even
look
get
for our
started.
girl here.
Yeah.
Oh, she had an electrical issue. Damn it. Natalie Decker did not finish. So Natalie Decker at least does not crash the car on Friday the 13th during a full moon. So that's, I think, what was on everyone's mind outside of who actually won this race. So just a tough scene.
Tough scene indeed.
I don't really have too much else from this race. There's a bunch of people whose names I have no idea who they are.
Yeah, I mean Todd. I will say I'll give a shout out to Sheldon Creed.
Christian Eckes.
That I mean, yeah, him, Todd Gillett, and Brendan Poole all with great runs.
Oh yeah, Brendan Poole got top 10. Holy crap!
But Sheldon Creed has been really good this the second half of the year. I know he didn't make the playoffs because he had a super slow start, but man, he's been a top 5 car week in and week out.
That's really good for next year. I think this is going to be a huge momentum boost and confidence shift for him. Like, just like Austin Hill last year. So we'll see what happens with him. He should be staying with GMS, and GMS has shown great speed all season. So, yeah. So right now we got, for the rest of the playoffs, Austin Hill, Chastain, Moffitt, Ankrum, Friesen. I'm just reading it straight off this list, and Crafton. So, yeah, you said you think Austin Hill gets that third spot in Homestead. I mean, I don't necessarily disagree. There's still a lot that can happen, obviously. So we'll see what happens there.
I don't say he'll get it, but if he makes it there, he'll be the number 3 guy.
So our next 3 races there are Talladega, Martinsville, and Phoenix. Just a plethora of great racing ahead for the trucks. Are we going to see the truck race in Talladega, perhaps, Kevin?
I don't know what I'm doing that Saturday yet.
I'm thinking about it because I'm going to have literally nowhere to go, and I don't know what I'm getting from Atlanta to Talladega. So if you want to have a podcaster and drive him from Atlanta to Talladega that weekend, and please don't murder me. Like I can't emphasize enough. Please do not murder me. Like we can maybe do some like chill interviews in the car, and you can be on the podcast. Yay! Please don't murder me if you take me. Like I'm serious. Please don't kill me. I have way too much.
You have my word. Not that I give off that vibe, I'd hope, but you have my word.
Not you, obviously. We need to figure that one out. I'm still trying to get my buddy. He's got a festival he's going to the week before, but we'll figure that one out.
Tell that man no party is better than Talladega party.
So speaking about interviews, so last week we had an interview with 2017 ARCA champion Austin Theriault. I kind of let the cat out of the bag a little bit, but we didn't get to play it last week. It was already a 2.5-hour episode. I didn't want to keep you guys the entire way through. I mean, that was a little intimidating seeing that runtime there, I'm sure. So we're going to go ahead and splice the interview here now with Austin Theriault, who came on, did an interview with me. Kevin was a little late, unfortunately, but we did the best we could. And he's a really, really chill guy. We're definitely going to have him back on, and we're definitely going to try and get him a little Reddit kind of not fundraiser. What am I looking for here? Like a following. We need to get him. Just a Reddit following. Like we need to get him to be more well known with the fans because he's a really chill guy and he's really funny. And honestly, I think that the fans of Reddit, if they get to interact with him a little more, will realize that and start to support him the way we've seen support for guys like Briscoe, DiBenedetto, Josh Wise in the past. So, we'll without further ado, here's the interview with our boy Austin Theriault. Joined tonight by a very special guest, 2017 ARCA Menards champion Austin Theriault has joined the show. What's going on, Austin?
It's awesome to be with you guys tonight. I'm looking forward to talking and just shooting the shit, I guess.
Okay, cool. So I guess that was gonna be my first question. Like, what's your preference, I guess, on the swear word? So I guess we'll go right into that. Perfect. I guess
Do
you
you have a
listen.
preference?
I have no preference.
I
We'll
don't really
say
swear, but I didn't know what else to say.
God bless. I appreciate it. No, we actually are. We say whatever we want. So I mean, as
Hmm.
long as we keep it sort of, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, so first things first, I guess since we're off to that, Austin, let me know real quick, how many guys in the garage could you actually beat up in real life?
Well, that's an interesting question. I never thought about it like that. I wrestled in 3 years in high school, but I don't think I'm in as good a shape as far as if I was in a fight, but
S-
definitely conditioned good for racing.
that's
Yeah.
excellent. So you did some wrestling. Does that mean that Daniel Suarez should honestly be looking out for you now?
Well, he probably should because if that day ever comes, then I'm certainly not too worried about what I can do. But yeah, I let the racing take care of itself on the racetrack. I've never really been one to fight with anybody or get in any physical altercations, but it happens sometimes, and
Mhm. It's
hopefully
racing.
that day never comes. It's racing, yeah.
Exactly. All right. So I actually have a real question. So in your truck career, you drove for BKR, and you were with a lot of different interesting teammates throughout. You had, I believe, Ryan Blaney, Hemrick, Cindric, and Briscoe. Am I missing anyone else?
Well, I was there in 2015, so at that particular time, Briscoe and Hemrick weren't there racing, but I had Blaney and Logano and Brad were racing some that year in the 29. So, well,
Mhm.
actually drivers that had a little bit more experience, and it was great working with them.
Yeah, exactly. So what exactly was that like? What did they teach you that you were able to utilize for your career moving forward? Because I mean, that's a lot of experience right there. You have two champions of the sport and one of the most interesting up and coming youngsters in NASCAR right now.
It was great because they had more experience than I did at the time. They had been to all the tracks, and so when I was at races, not even driving myself, just being there, hearing them on the radio, how they communicated with the crew chief, that was super important and
Mhm.
uh, super informative, I guess is the right word. From there, I felt like it made me a better driver because, like I said, hearing is one thing, and sometimes you have to hear and then you try to implement it. And I felt like after a span of races where they would race and they would be in the truck, I would go back knowing more than I had originally. And we started off the season strong, but what I found was as the season went on, and I had a good stretch of races towards the end of the year. I felt like I was getting better and better. And a lot of it had to do with being around them and being around good guys and people that had experience in developing drivers.
That's really awesome. So you moving a little bit forward in your career, you moved on to ARCA in 2017. You were running it a little bit before that, but 2017 was your first full season with Ken Schrader. First things first, what's that like being around Ken? He's such an icon in the sport, I assume.
He is, and he's one of the few NASCAR drivers that continue to race a
Hmm.
lot. He races, 50, 60, 70 times a year in with his dirt modified around the country.
Hmm.
If you're at a local dirt track, you'll probably see him. So that's good for the sport, number one. But like you said, it's having somebody with his experience level. He knows a lot of people. He's got a lot of contacts. A lot of people respect him for what he's done and for what he's been able to accomplish on and off the track. So I've been real fortunate to be around some awesome people.
That's really, really. I mean, I just couldn't imagine what it's like being around Ken Schrader. He has like all that experience and just constantly learning from guys like that, just helping you out on the track. So during the 2017 season, ARCA runs both asphalt and dirt. So I want to know, what's your preference when you're racing out there? Do you enjoy the dirt races, or are you more of like, I would rather prefer the asphalt where I have more grip?
Well, I enjoyed both because we were successful at both, and that was
Well,
my
that
first
that kind of
time.
helps.
Yeah, that was my first time ever being on dirt. So I think we got the pole at Springfield and we won the race at DuQuoin. So,
Mhm.
it's hard for me to pick one over the other. I'll tell you, I had a lot of fun at the dirt races. So
Mhm.
if it was a matter of having fun, I would probably give it to the dirt, the dirt racing. But you know, NASCAR, the only other track NASCAR goes to is in the Truck Series,
Mhm.
obviously at Eldora. So it would be
You thought
different if we
about?
were.
Oh, sorry, go on.
Well, I say it'd be different if we were racing the sorry, the Cup cars or Xfinity cars at the dirt tracks. But until that day comes, it's just a matter of having fun. And I had a
Mhm.
blast at both of those dirt tracks.
Do you honestly think that Xfinity and Cup might pivot to that one day, that we might have an event like that in the future for those guys?
It would surprise me if it happened. I think maybe people would like to see it happen, but it would really surprise me if that was the direction they went. They would have to change the schedule around quite a bit, and I know they've talked about changing it around in 2021, and but like I said, I think there's other priority
Yeah.
items for them, like getting more short tracks and
Mhm.
getting more road courses and stuff like that before they went to a dirt race.
Oh yeah, no, I'd love to see either Iowa IRP or Nashville honestly be added to the list. That would be really a lot of fun. Honestly, what would you like to see as far as short tracks added? Since now I can say you are Cup regular almost.
Yeah, and it's it's interesting because there's so many short tracks around the country that um, it would be great to race at. And the only thing that everybody has to keep in mind is the development that tracks that we go to now have
Mhm.
had to do as far as even budget wise and
Oh, absolutely.
safety improvement wise and the ability to handle all these people. Um, that's one of the reasons it's going to be difficult to get to some of these other short tracks. So I think they I think they need to try to incorporate some short tracks that NASCAR hasn't been to in a while. The thing that always uh, that is forgotten a lot of times is the capacity of some of the tracks that we've gone to in the past. I mean, from what I understand, like Charlotte Motor Speedway used to handle over 120,000 people at its capacity back in the
Mhm.
day, and now we're having a harder time to even get close to that.
Mhm.
So you go to some of these other short tracks. It may add a little bit of demand because we're going to sell them out, right? And
Mhm.
seeing 40, 50,000 people in grandstands, that still looks like a lot of people. So
Mhm.
it's just deceiving sometimes. You like we went to Indy.
Oh yeah.
NASCAR went to Indy last week, and that facility can seat a lot of people. And
Yeah,
so
that
when there's
was
40 or 50,000 people in the grandstands, like there was at Darlington, a few weeks ago, it can kind of seem deceiving. So I don't know. There's a lot of variables that come into play, and safety is one of them with the safer barriers. A lot of these tracks would need, like Nashville and IRP, we would have to send them cash in order for them to get the properties up to spec for a NASCAR race. But I'm sure they've taken all that into account.
No, it's fine. You just sell one of the tracks like you did with Rockingham and turn it into a music festival. Us millennials love those.
Exactly.
So, it's moving along. So, you made your Cup debut this year. First of all, congratulations. A lot of people can actually say that they've raced in the Monster Cup Energy Series. So, what was that like getting that call from Rick Ware?
Well, it's something that I've been working on for a while. I guess you could say it's been a goal for about 6 months before it happened. Going into the latter part of 2018, I was sort of recalculating and reevaluating my 2018 season. I didn't have a lot going on, especially after winning the championship in ARCA
Mhm.
in 2017. I thought there would be some more opportunities that came up, but it didn't happen. So um, I had to put myself out there a little bit, and one of the calculations I thought about was, well, how can I sort of bypass the Xfinity series because it's so competitive, and
Mhm.
and go straight to Cup. And even if it's for an organization that may not be as competitive as running top five or top 10, it's still a great opportunity and a base to start at. Gain
Mhm.
gain experience for myself. Um, a lot of the sponsorship that we have or that we're looking at now, or we've had discussions with even before I made my debut. They're excited because it's cup exposure, and
Mhm.
the budget's affordable for them. So it just made a lot of sense, and I didn't think that would be something that I would consider a couple years ago. Being an equipment that was always performing and had a chance to win. But looking at my career and evaluating what's best for me, being in a Cup car, and entertaining opportunities to race Cup makes more and more sense, and it definitely did. Going into 2019. So that's why it took us several months to put it all together. But when I made my debut July 21st, it was great to be out there and just check that debut off my list, so that now I could focus on just doing it every week.
That's
And
honestly
I feel like
awesome.
we're getting closer and closer to maybe having that happen one day. And uh, feel like every day that goes by is one day closer to potentially having that happen.
Yeah, I saw your name on there for Loudon when I was doing my show. I was like, wow, that's awesome that he's getting that opportunity. I really, and that's just the way you got to start it at this point. Like, you have those guys like Bowman and DiBenedetto that work their way through, and then they go into these smaller rides and they start gaining exposure. So I think that we
Mm-hmm.
just need to get you a nickname or some kind of rhyme scheme, and we can honestly get you a Reddit following at that point, because that's pretty much what it takes. I mean, we got Josh Wise into the All-Star race. We can do anything on that website.
Well, it's
So.
just curious you said that. I've always been interested in Reddit and learning more about it. I go to Reddit from time to time for other if I have questions, and getting people's feedback and stuff. There's a variety of different communities on Reddit. So
Mhm.
maybe we could do something on Reddit, and start having conversations, and connecting with more people.
I'm just gonna throw garbage onto the wall. We got raise the stereo for Austin Terrio. I mean, that's something
Yeah.
right there. We can get something working. You and me, I think that we got the start of something special here. So let's move along. So before a race, what gets you pumped up? What gets you in the zone? Are you a music guy, or do you have to like stretch yoga? I mean, I'm not sure if there's any drivers that do yoga before a race, but it wouldn't shock me if that was like Kyle Larson or something.
Hmm.
So what gets you going before a race?
I like having a little bit of quiet time before a
Okay.
race. And I'm not saying I want to be by myself, but just kind of away from the hustle and bustle of the weekend, and whether
Mhm.
it's in front of the hauler, or whether it's, basically in the lounge in front of the hauler is kind of where I like to shut my eyes for 5-10 minutes, reset my brain, and do a little bit of stretching. Because I find the older I get, the tighter my muscles get. So um, just little things like that. I won't say I have a regimen. Like some of the drivers have a certain regimen, and they're they can't be off by 5 minutes, and they're off of their regimen. But I just like to get a couple minutes of quiet time, and get back into the mindset of, in 30 minutes we're going to be out there on the racetrack. So just trying to kind of get in that mindset.
It's awesome. And don't scare me like that with getting the muscles tightened. We're the same age, and I'm just like, oh man, is the
You're
decline already
30?
here? Oh no, I'm 25.
Yeah, I'm 25 too. So,
I was gonna
but
say
I, but I
like,
feel like I'm 40. I feel like I'm 45. Is that normal?
I mean, I guess for the beat and banging, I mean, so I did the ARCA cars have power steering like the Cup cars or no?
Oh yeah, yeah. Most
They do?
most all yeah most all the cars that we
Because
race have power steering.
I feel like the IndyCar guys probably get the worst of like the beating and the banging from racing, just because they don't have power steering and they're constantly just left and
Hmm.
right turns. I mean, you guys have it a little bit easier with going in an oval, but I mean, I'm sure those bumps are absolutely brutal. I don't have you raced on Atlanta in ARCA? I'm trying to look up this stat
No,
right
we
now.
we uh we never went to Atlanta. I've actually
Yeah.
never run at Atlanta, but
I've heard the bumps
the
there are absolutely brutal.
yeah, they are.
What so looking at the tracks you have run on, what is I mean, this is a common question that most people will ask, but what is your favorite track to run on?
Well, out of the super speedways, I mean, between Daytona and Talladega, Daytona's going to be number one. Short
Hmm.
tracks, Iowa.
Yeah, that's usually Garrett
The mile and a
Smithley
half.
came on and he said Iowa was also his
Yeah, the
favorite.
mile and a half's. It's hard to say. You almost want to say like Texas before they paved it, but Texas will get there someday. I'm thinking like a Chicago, yeah, like a Chicago. I was good at Chicago in the ARCA cars, so I like to split it in categories because it's always hard to give your like, hey, your number one favorite track because I mean
Mhm.
between the super speedways and the short tracks is a huge difference there. So
Do you have a favorite racing atmosphere? Like not just the track, like the actual atmosphere around it, the people, like just what's going on in the city and all that.
mm, well, we that's one thing with racing that you're always experiencing different climates and different people in different parts of the country. But the only thing is we don't always get a lot of time to spend. It's like, people think, well, you go on vacation, right? You're on vacation every weekend, but it's kind of like leaving for work and it's all business. Um, St. Louis is cool. Indy's cool.
Mhm.
It's good. It's good to get up in the New England region because that's where I'm from, and
Mhm.
the food's good up there, and
Oh yeah.
you get to see some nature. I'm trying to think, where was I recently that there was really good food. Um,
If only they had a race in New Orleans, that would be wonderful.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I can't. It's not coming to my mind, but like I said, there's different parts of the country are known for different things, and
Absolutely.
I just don't always have a favorite because I like experiencing. Everybody's got a different culture, and you have to
Mhm.
realize that there's things to be celebrated in every different part of the country.
So you mentioned that you're from the Northeast area. So you're from Maine, and you grew up in Maine, or were you just born in Maine? Because I know some people move around.
No, I stayed there all through high school,
That's honestly awesome.
from being born to graduation.
So, there's a joke that a couple of people have basically said that there's no internet in Maine. Are you here? Can you dispute that for me real quick and let me know that there is actual service and Wi-Fi in the Maine region?
I wonder. It's funny. I wonder sometimes. I think it's because Maine is so. What's the word? It's talked
It's out
about
there.
like in popular movies and like songs and stuff, but not everybody goes up there because of the distance. But I certainly challenge people to make a visit because it's great for it's a great tourist spot. It's a great it's a great place to raise a family. I will say that as far as like safety and kind of the way of living without risking. There's different parts of the country you and I both know that's like, well,
Mhm.
you're always taking a chance, but Maine's kind of like one of those places that you'd see in like like a Lifetime movie or something like that, where it's just cozy um,
Feels like the type of
and
place I'd really want to go vacation slash retire to. It does look
yeah,
absolutely
it's
wonderful, and I'm a huge seafood fan. Love lobster, love crab. I'm just
mhm.
I could go to town on Cheddar Bay biscuits all day. What's your favorite food from up there? Like, I mean, that's a huge staple. I feel like of New England.
Yeah, I mean, people know Maine for lobster. There's also
Hmm.
like a lot of potato farming.
Hmm.
The Where I come from, there's a lot of like French food because that's
Ooh.
the ancestry that I have is a French ancestry.
Hmm.
So northern Maine there's a lot of like French speaking people, and it's kind of like New Orleans in the way. There's a lot of similarities there because some of the people from up in that part of the world, they went down to escape, I think, persecution in New Orleans. So there's a whole story behind it, but one of the French foods that people are somewhat familiar with, especially if you ever been to like parts of Canada.
Oh,
Um,
I
it's it
lost you there. What you last thing I heard was something that most people are familiar with.
Yeah, well, some people are familiar with it if they've ever been to Canada, because it's a French food. It's called poutine. So it's
Oh, yes, I am familiar with poutine.
yeah.
Oh
Well,
man.
that's actually not the right way to say it, but it's the
Oh,
only way I can say it. That's the only way I can say it, and people remember it because that's how most people pronounce it. But I had some this weekend. I was in Maine for a day and a half. It's French fries with cheese or cheese
Oh,
curds and gravy. Did you lose me again?
yeah, it's okay. I think that probably when I'm editing, it'll pick it back up. Sometimes that happens. It's okay. Just keep going.
Yeah. So that's the it's something that everybody should try. I certainly,
Oh,
you can't
I
really make
second
your
that. Please
own.
try that.
Yeah, it's really hard to make your own because like you have to have the right gravy and so if you ever go to like Maine, New Hampshire, some places in New Hampshire have it. Definitely parts of like Canada, Quebec, and all of that. All of those parts have it. So
That's wonderful. So let's round out this interview real quick. So, I wanted to ask, what other sports could I catch you watching, either during the off season or during the week?
well, I don't watch a lot of other sports. That's one
Ah,
thing I've uh, I'm a fan of sports, like, but I'm not one of those people that have like fantasy league stuff. You know, I'll watch games. I'll watch games if they're on TV. You know, NFL, baseball. I've never actually been to an NFL game in person live.
college games are better. I'll just
Yeah,
say that.
yeah. And like I said, the college scene, it's interesting because I have friends that are very active on it, but I respect all athletes because I understand what it's like and
Hmm.
what you have to sacrifice. But a lot of times you'll just find me sort of either mountain biking or um, it's really very very difficult to maintain a position in NASCAR if you don't come from a lot of money
Hmm.
and I'm not complaining. I'm very thankful, but that literally keeps me so busy um, that if I'm focusing on too many other things, it's going to really take my eye off the ball. So maybe I'll get to a point where I can lock in a 5-year contract and then we can
Let's
we can
hope
go to
so.
all the NFL games that we want to. But until that happens, and I'm actually still at the office now. I'm going to
Hmm.
head home in a little bit, but it's 8 o'clock at night, and I'm still at the office, just kind of finishing up some things. And as much as I hate to say it, I didn't get all I wanted to get done today. So tomorrow's another day, and we'll hit it hard again. So my goal is to race Cup full time. So we'll do what we
Yeah,
can to make that happen.
I'd love to see that in 2020. That would be really awesome. Just for your sake, I really, really am hoping for that. So, let's finish this up real quick. I want to know. We asked Brad Perez last week who the most famous person in his phone was. So I'm curious, who is the most famous person in your phone?
Uh, hmm.
It's a tough one. He said Haley Deegan, and I asked if we could call her, but he said that it would just be nonstop giggling. So,
Famous person. I have some politicians on there, but
ooh,
I don't know
okay,
if I'm
look at
allowed
you.
if I'm allowed to say. Yeah,
We could just say Ken Trader, or do you have Jeff Gordon in your phone?
I don't have I don't I have Ken Schrader on my phone. I have
I would hope
obviously
so.
Keselowski.
I I think that having a championship might consider Brad Keselowski maybe the most famous person in your
Yeah,
phone.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man, that's have you gotten to well, I'll ask that
The
later.
White House?
Did you got to go to the White House?
No, no, no.
I was gonna
I
say
thought,
the ARCA championship means that much awesome. That would be incredible.
yeah.
Oh man, they should have
Well,
honestly taken you over
I,
there.
I thought maybe you could get me an invitation though.
Listen, man, I'm not going to win any awards for this podcast anytime soon. So unless they're bringing the podcasters of America to the White House, I don't think I can help you out. I mean, hey, you know how you can do it. Get that 5-year contract, win a championship. There you go, free trip. So
Exactly.
let's nail that down. Last question, real quick. If you go back to any moment in racing history, and watch it live at the track, what would you go to? It could be anything, either NASCAR, Indy, anything.
Hmm. I would like to go back to
Oh,
probably. I'd like to go back to the first televised race, and not to get specific because was it
79.
1979?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
1979. So either at that particular race when it was first televised, the whole race, or just at that era because I think we have to have a perspective on where stock car racing started and where we are now. And I think
Mhm.
people forget the perspective of where we started, and we get caught up in the negativity sometimes, and like
Mhm.
why things are not where they need to be. But then just put it in perspective of where we've come from, and there's a lot more positive going on than I think we sometimes realize.
We try and keep the positives going on this show. The negatives just get all the attention. And while that's what's going to get the clicks, honestly, there's a lot of positive going on in NASCAR, and you're part of it. And I really appreciate. And I just want to say I really appreciate you coming on today, Austin. Thank you so much. You want to plug anything in real quick?
Well, I would definitely reach back out to me because I'd like to do something on Reddit, but
Oh yeah, absolutely. We can.
really appreciate you having me on.
Mhm.
Certainly, if anybody's listening to this, and I'd
Oh, they are.
recommend, yeah, just follow what's going on. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. There's a lot of other things that I can't. We didn't get into tonight, but some other things that are outside of racing in one way or another that I'm working on, and I'm not sure if we're going to get it all done this year. But as far as like content and information, I'm working on some kind of interesting and unique things that are just
That's
just
awesome.
unique to me. So get following now, so that you can see all the news that we have going on. I'm going to make some other announcements for the remainder of 2019, so you'll catch that too. So click the follow button.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna plug in his Twitter account at the end. If you want to just go ahead and plug it in right now, also like your handle. Sorry,
Oh, yeah. Everything is Austin Theriault. So
everything.
Theriault.
Yeah,
Um,
don't mess up that spelling, guys. Come on, I have faith that you guys have some kind of education. So come
yeah,
on.
yeah. So
Um,
uh,
oh,
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, any playoff predictions for the Cup Series, or can you
Well, I
sneak
was
that win?
wrong. I was wrong. I predicted last week that Jimmy Johnson was going to win, and he
Oh
he
man, you
wrecked and
fool.
didn't make the playoffs. So I'm going to tap out on this round, and once we get past this round, because I've got my mulligan already called for.
That's fair. Yeah, you can't make that mistake going in the final four. We're doing a huge show, so I've got my picks ready to go, but I have a bad feeling about my top 8 right now. It's honestly so tough. But hey, again, I want to thank you for coming on, and I appreciate your time. Ladies and gentlemen, Austin Theriault. All right. Hey, thank you so much, Austin, for coming on. That was lots of fun there. So, and Kevin, thank you for not showing up.
Yeah, no problem. I know you texted me right before I was ready to be on, and you said, "Yeah, Austin didn't want you on." I respect that. No, I was kidding.
Austin literally said if you came in chat, he was gonna beat you up. So you're lucky. Kevin actually. So when we're doing the interviews, it's a little tough because when people join, it kind of A, messes up my audio, and B, it's a little difficult on the editing process. It probably wouldn't have been too bad if I had Kevin in there, but I've noticed it a little bit lately, and I was able to fix it, thank God. But my bot is messing up, so if anyone knows any better bots than Craig on Discord, let your boy know. Shouts out. So, but I still love you, Craig.
You remember to turn him on today?
Oh, he's recording right now. I'm looking right at him. He's definitely recording.
It'd be a hard
All
time.
right. There's no F1 race this week. We got the IndyCar
there
finale
is.
next. There was an F1 race this weekend?
Oh, I thought you meant this upcoming.
Oh no. This weekend there was not. Upcoming, yeah. I think they're in it's not Shanghai.
Singapore.
Is it Singapore?
Yep.
Oh man. So I got back into the F1 video game because I turned the traction control all the way on so I could actually finish a race. And Singapore is officially my least favorite track of all time. It eats tires like a fat kid eats cake. So whoever wins that race, like God bless you. That is unreal to anyone who can actually maneuver that track. It's impossible.
Yeah,
Literally impossible.
It's a hard track to pass on.
I can imagine. But hey, it looks great for the fans, and it's at
It
night,
does.
which is always unique for the Indy. Okay, the Formula One cars look great under the lights. I'll say that right now. Like they look so beautiful under the lights.
Oh yeah.
Especially that matte finish on the Red Bulls. Oh, give me that. All right, and then we have IndyCar finale this weekend at WeatherTech. I think that Newgarden has a pretty comfortable lead, but because of Kevin's favorite system, the double points, he's not safe all the way. We got a 41-point lead over Rossi. If I recall, I believe 42 or 44 over Pagano. Scott Dixon is mathematically in it, but he needs everyone to mess up.
Well, Scott Dixon is mathematically in it, which means congratulations on your 2019 champion, Scott Dixon.
I don't know about that, man. I really don't know about that. It's tough, and I don't know why they kept showing Will Power. I think just because he's gone on a nice little run as the season's ended, but he's not in it. He's not really in this. It's such a shame the IndyCar season's over already. It just feels like we just started getting going on it. It was like quick, yesterday. Man. It's a quick season because
I think
F1 doesn't finish till November. Yeah,
I feel like they need a
17
longer
races. Yeah, 17 races doesn't feel like enough.
20 sounds nice.
You understand IndyCars are so cheap to run now than they've been compared to be in the past. I feel like so. At least that's what I've read.
Put them at Chicagoland. Put them at Kansas. No one will show up, but I'll still watch it on TV.
Yeah, I mean they used to have the championship at Chicago or Kansas. I can't remember which one now. It's rewatching one of Dario Franchitti's. Excuse me. So yeah, it looks like 41, 42, 85, and then Classic 124 points out for Will Power, who probably going to just pass one of those three guys in front of him.
Yeah. Well, so I guess Newgarden has it.
Yeah.
But who knows? I mean, they haven't run at Laguna Seca in how many years?
Exactly. It's been so long since we've had IndyCars at Seca, it feels like. So that should be a lot of fun. I believe Oliver Askew I think he's already cleared that championship this season. I'll go ahead and look that up. But yeah, rounding out the field, what you got there?
Good for him.
Well, no, is that seriously you're rounding out the field right now with that?
Well, just good for Oliver Askew.
Oh yeah, no, good for Oliver. I think he's already actually.
I mean, my prediction would just be, I think Newgarden's going to win it because he has such a big lead. But who knows?
Mm-hmm.
You know, lap one, someone could go into that course, screw a little too hot, and collect Newgarden. Bam, he's done.
Yeah. Okay. So Askew actually has a 41-point lead going into the Indy Lights Championship.
Okay.
So that's actually kind of close. It says it here on there. I don't follow Indy Lights. I'm not going to pretend like I have been following Indy Lights all season. I apologize to the listeners at home. According to this, it says that they are running it looks like they run 2 races every weekend. Now that I'm reading this.
Oh, so it's like F2 kind of.
Yeah. St. Pete had a race on like March 9th and then March 10th. Yeah. Okay. That seems what they were doing. So that's how they had up with 18 races. Really only 8 tracks. So that's actually sneaky. They thought they could sneak one by the old Anthony. Get out of here with that. So yeah, on the 21st and the 22nd, they'll more than likely Oliver Askew win the championship, barring anything crazy. So, I mean, I'll try and check that out if I can. I'm sure they'll have a stream for it.
Also, I found it kind of weird. This is super off topic, but
go for it.
Was at WeatherTech Raceway this past week?
Yeah, Elio Castroneves was there.
So I'm kind of just like, why not run a paired weekend? But
because you could just have like 10 straight days of racing. There's probably more than just that going on this week.
I don't know. Like IMSA and IndyCar are pretty big motorsports series. So I feel like pairing them together. Like they do it at Long Beach. They do it.
IMSA, but IMSA did the same thing in Canada where they just ran it super early compared to when the trucks would have done it. And that would have been a good weekend to also just have like all those happening. But they wanted to spread it out, make more money. I don't know. Like I'm not hating. Yeah. I don't own WeatherTech Laguna Seca. Like I don't know. I don't know how those funds are going.
Wait,
I know, shock.
This whole time I've been doing this podcast with you because I thought I was going to be a free laps there, and now you're telling me you don't own it?
Listen, man, I can barely offer Brad Perez any laps with his Mazda, and he literally Mazda sponsors the tracks. I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's tough, man. It's a tough economy out there.
It really is.
I'm trying to get some rounding out the field stuff going on here. Besides, we already mentioned last week, but for anyone who wasn't listening or lives under a rock, Matty D to the 21 next year, so that's already very exciting. We had a couple NASCAR Heat 4 came out this week.
Are you getting that, by the way?
So I've decided that I'm probably not going to get it because I'm going to be training for a job in Atlanta, and I'm not bringing my Xbox with me so I can focus.
Fair.
Like, that's like my biggest distraction. It's usually like I only try and play when I have work.
Yeah, all right. Oh, here's a good rounding up the field for you. Speaking of video games and racing games on the internet, Dale Jr. said if enough people go to North Wilkesboro and remove the weeds that are currently on the racing surface, iRacing will scan it and put it into their game.
Dude, if they bring North Wilkesboro into that game, there is a good chance I might be considering getting a steering wheel.
If they somehow coordinate this like an Area 51 raid, like
if there's anyone that can coordinate like a bunch of
people to do something in North Carolina, it's
Dale
Jr.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Dude, if I was in North Carolina, I'd go do that because I'd be hanging out with a bunch of people who also are following Dale and also love NASCAR and also want to see this in the video game. So that's pretty cool. After talking to Steve last week, it's like I kind of really want to get into some iRacing, especially like knowing that I could customize my car to be whatever I want it to be, and I have some ideas. I have some thoughts.
Yeah. Also,
Section 10 car.
On a sadder note, rest in peace. Mike Stefanik was unfortunately killed yesterday in a plane accident, and he, for those who don't know, he is a multi-time champion in the NASCAR Whelen Series, modified series. So a huge loss right there for the sport. Not going to act like I was a big modified fan or even when he was in his prime watched him, but it's always sad to, tragic accident like that.
It's
shout out NBC for giving a huge moment of silence yesterday on the broadcast. And I mean, the news came out during the broadcast, so that was pretty quick acting by them. So just a tough situation all around, but we've talked about it before and we hate to bring it up, but like NASCAR drivers and planes just do not mix well.
They literally drive 200 mile an hour like rocket ships. I don't understand why they don't.
I can't think of another sport where this many of the stars and whatnot have had issues with aircraft.
It's tragic whenever it does happen, and it feels like it happens more often in NASCAR than other sports just because of like the famous names that we've lost. And I mean, you think about like other sports, I can't really name too many off the top of my head that were like, in their prime when it happened. Like maybe Munson on the Yankees is the only one I can think of. That there was a golfer in the 90s, I believe, that also lost his life in a plane crash. That's literally all I can think of off the top of my head. And like think like the Russian national team a couple years ago for hockey.
Oh no.
Other than that, it's a shame, and whenever it happens, obviously, it's tough. But yeah, shouts out to NBC. It was very professional. Yeah. I don't know if I was reading this right. This guy won 4 championships in 2 years because he was running multiple series throughout the Northeast. This guy was winning everything. Stefanik, did I get his name right?
Mike Stefanik. Yep.
Stefanik. All right, yeah, and yeah, he was just a legendary driver. In the Northeast, like Ted Christopher was, and another guy who recently unfortunately lost his life, and it's very sad. But up there, he was a hero, and I'm sure if this had happened before I interviewed Austin, I'm sure we would have talked about it because he grew up there, and I'm sure that he's familiar with guys like that growing up watching racing. So I mean, just a tough scene, but shouts out to NBC again for their professionalism. Whereas I'm yelling at Virginia fans on this podcast, so I want to apologize to the entire state of Virginia. I'm not mad at you, your college-educated masses. So whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
That's about as much of an apology they'll get out of me. It's more than Kyle Busch would ever.
This is true.
I don't really have. I'm looking right now. I don't see anything crazy.
I think that's about it. Some good news. FSU's game on Saturday is at 3:30, which means I will be home in time to not only...
Is it a home game?
To not only have time to forget about their upcoming loss, but also to watch the entire Richmond night race. Our last night race of the season, mind you.
No, it's not.
I mean, scheduled night race.
It's not even the last Homestead last. Scheduled night race.
Homestead's a transition race on
Vegas. Okay, but a transition race is a night race, Kevin.
No.
Yes. How many races start at night and finish? So by then, Bristol is not. We can't call it the Bristol night race. It's the Bristol transitional race.
My definition of a night race: if more than half of the race is under the lights, then it's a night race. Other than that, transition.
I feel like
more lights did not come on until stage 3. So it is a transition.
Okay, but I feel like
I want to hear your
logic. At Homestead, they definitely are racing under the lights during stage 2.
Are they?
I feel like they definitely are.
I feel like
maybe I'm wrong, but either way, I still call it a night race because.
Well, as a fact checker, the official fact checker of this podcast is gonna have to disagree with you.
But who holds up? When do they hold up? Like, when do they have the winner in victory lane? Is it before the race when the sun's up, or at night when it's nighttime during the night race?
Oh, it's actually after the race when they interview the winner. And that's a good way to end it here for the set.
Oh my gosh, whatever. As we can see, Kevin has been Kevin this week. He's returned, so thank God for that. But I have been Anthony.
I have been Kevin.
And we'll see you guys next week after Richmond. We got a very big interview coming this week. We're not sure if it's going to be a 2-parter or we might just release the interview as its own episode, but you'll see when you see it. So be consistently, English is impossible. Be consistently refreshing iTunes and check that out, all right? Make sure to follow us on Twitter at LTLN Podcast. Till then, love you guys.
Love y'all.
Peace.
You fly by as the pendulum swings. Watch it count down to the end of the day. The clock takes life away. It's so unreal. Didn't look out below. Watch the time go right out the window. Trying to hold on to didn't even know I wasted it all just to watch you go. I kept everything inside and even though I tried, it all fell apart. What it meant to me will eventually be a memory of a time when I tried so hard and got so far. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. One thing, I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. I designed this rhyme to remind myself how I tried so hard. In spite of the way you were mocking me, acting like I was part of your property. Remembering all the times you fought with me, I'm surprised it got so